Hey, how's it going? I'm Joe with Let's Head Wherever, and over my shoulder is our 2020 and a half Grand Design Reflection 31MB that we just had to put a new roof on. Here, come inside. I'll tell you the story. After our shakedown trip where I crashed into a tree down at River Ranch, it's been smooth sailing. Hold on, let me find some wood to knock on. I hope that's real wood. So this 31MB, just like any other RV that you're going to buy from any other manufacturer, has needed some warranty work done. At the end of the day, if you want to own an RV, you have to accept stuff's going to break. So our story about the roof starts back in November of 2020. We had our 31MB at LazyDays in Tampa for a few warranty repairs. A few days before we brought it in there, we were camping, and I noticed that the roof membrane had some rippling or kind of like waves in it. At the end of the day, this is our first fifth wheel and only second rig overall that we've ever had. I never seen that before. I didn't know if that was normal or not. So when we dropped it off at LazyDays, one other thing I mentioned is, hey, look at the roof, especially in this section right here. Tell me if that looks normal. So according to the repair order on November 12th, they checked out the roof. They didn't notice anything that looked out of place, nothing to be concerned with. 4 days later, November 16th, the reason I remember that, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me! I picked the rig up from LazyDays in Tampa and brought it over to a local Camping World to get some slide toppers put on. Camping World takes a look around the rig, kind of like you do when you check out a rental car, wants to make sure there's nothing that they have to note ahead of time. When they get up top, they say, hey, do you know that you have tears in your roof membrane? No, I did not know that I have tears in my roof membrane. Take a bunch of pictures, get up there, sure enough, right along where the roof membrane folds over on the edge, I have like 4 or 5 tears. I give LazyDays Service a call and said, hey, just a heads up. We had the inspection done on the 12th. The report says everything looks fine. I pick it up 4 days later. I bring it to another dealership, and now they're telling me that the roof has issues. LazyDays says, bring it back to us. Let us check it out. So I drive it back to LazyDays in Tampa. They get up on the roof and confirm, yeah, roof membrane's got some tears in it. They recommend, hey, give Grand Design a call. You're still under warranty. Maybe they can take care of it. So we take a bunch of pictures, some up close videos. I contact Grand Design. I send them what I have, all the pictures and the explanation from LazyDays. They get back to me and said, hey, sorry, this is not going to be covered under warranty. This is caused from damage. So I say, what do you mean it's caused by damage? The gentleman I spoke to took it even further and said this type of damage, in my experience, looks from downward and lateral pressure, typically when you run it into something. So I go back to LazyDays and say, hey, Grand Design says this is not a defect, this is not a warranty issue, this is caused from damage, so the repair is up to me. Once again, I bring up the fact, November 12th, inspection of the roof is done, nothing to find. 4 days later, the roof is tore up. It's been on LazyDays property that entire time. How do we go from the 12th fine to the 16th, the roof's tore up? Sadly, LazyDays doubles down. They said, hey, we didn't cause the damage. It must have happened after you picked it up and took it out to Camping World. Let me just point out, at this point, we're in November of 2020, my trust and faith in LazyDays Tampa Service has been put to the test. When this occurred in November, we have had so many customer service and quality control issues with LazyDays Tampa Service that there's enough story where I could make a standalone video about it. It's that bad. So the situation I'm in, who knows? The burden of proof is on Leah and I, and we have no proof that LazyDays damaged the roof, just as they have no proof that I damaged the roof or Camping World damaged the roof or the secret roof damage fairy came down and tore my roof membrane up. I do want to mention, while it was there at LazyDays, they were kind enough to give me a quote for $10,000 to put a new roof on. So, Joe, wrap it up, man. You're losing us. The bottom line is, we have a year-old Grand Design Reflection 31MB fifth wheel with a tore up roof that needs to be replaced. We have no one taking responsibility for the damage. I know I didn't cause the damage, so we did the only thing that we could. We ran a claim through our insurance with Progressive. So in the meantime, while Progressive's doing its magic, we reach out to RV Armor because we've heard lots of great things about them. RV Armor is like, hey, awesome, thanks so much for contacting us. We'd like to get you scheduled right away. Where are you? We're in Florida. Oh. I'm like, what do you mean, oh? They said, well, unfortunately, Florida and any of the surrounding states, we are severely backlogged right now. We might be able to squeeze you in February, March. This is like the end of November. And oh, if you haven't watched some of our previous videos, we're selling our house and moving into this 31 MB. So the folks at RV Armor take a look around basically the entire Southeast to see where they can get us in immediately. And they said, hey, Texas right now is begging for customers. If you can get it to Texas, we could put a roof on next week. So is it making sense now why we went from Florida to Texas in a quickness? So we get out to Texas, we get RV Armor to fix the roof. That process was as smooth as you could hope for. Now the roof is nice and shiny, bright white, and I only have to get up there a couple times a year to clean it. We get a check within like 10 days from Progressive. This part of the story, thankfully, went about as routine and as smooth as one could hope for. So here we are about a little under 2 months later. Our roof is fixed. No more nightmare. We can carry on with our full-timing business. So let's recap the bad. We had to replace the roof on an 11-month-old fifth wheel. We had to pay our deductible through Progressive. Thankfully, it was only $750. I remain salty that I had to pay that $750 to fix damage that I didn't do. We had an awful customer service quality control situation with LazyDays Tampa after an otherwise decent experience in the sales department. And the part that I'm so bitter about is all of this happened at a time where our stress levels were through the roof. We were literally days from moving in to this rig when we found out that we had to put a new roof on it. And in a way, it kind of spoiled this whole transition from sticks and bricks to full-time RVing because we just had that dark cloud hanging over our head throughout this entire transition. But here's the good. Grand Design customer service held true. Listen, at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons we purchased a Grand Design, because we heard so many amazing things about their customer service. And from my experience with this roof situation, they performed flawlessly. So I couldn't be happier with the Grand Design. Our experience with Progressive is equally fantastic. The process from filing the claim to getting the check to pay for RV Armor was about as smooth as you could hope for. We paid our $750 deductible. I sent some pictures, filled out some information about the RV, and it was like no questions asked. Fix the roof, here's your money. And RV Armor was amazing to work with. And this is not a paid endorsement from RV Armor. Although if you want to work something out, I'm short $750 from that deductible. Getting a quote from RV Armor was super fast. I basically gave them my contact information, told them what kind of rig I had, the length and the color of the roof. And within like hours, I had a quote back. Hey, here's exactly what it's going to cost and everything we need to do to it. The scheduling process was super easy. The representative called me. I said, hey, we're going to be in this city on these dates, this city on these dates, this city on these dates. Let me know when you can help us out. And within like less than 24 hours, she came back and said, hey, we can get you in on this day in this city. Does that work? I said, yep. Boom, we're on the schedule. I paid a deposit. And on install day, the technician that they sent out was super cool. He was very personable, got to the site early. He kept Lee and I informed of basically every step that he was doing. And one of the added benefits, while he was there, one of the first things he did was measure the actual footage of the roof. It ended up being smaller than what we were quoted for. So we ended up getting a little bit of a credit back. And like I mentioned before, it looks great. Bright white, nice shiny surface. It's got a lifetime warranty, which I am all about. So look, I know I was a little long-winded, but after you have watched this video, if there's only one thing that you take away, it is this. Any time you drop your rig off at a dealership to have anything done, do a walk around inspection of your rig. Take pictures of stuff if you need to, walk around the exterior, get on the roof, look at the roof. Just make sure when you hand it over and you get it back, it's in the same condition. And honestly, it should be in better condition if you're bringing it in for service. Obviously, they're fixing or doing something. You don't want to get your stuff back all tore up. If I had done that one thing, it would have saved me so much hassle and my $750 deductible. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow along with our full-time RV living and adventures, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up this if you enjoy it. If you want to say hi down in the comments, do so. Love to hear from all of you, and we'll see you next time.